welcome back guys. If you're new here, my name is Lewis, and today we're going to be talking about rear motor mounts, specifically PRL's new rear motor mount that they're going to be releasing here soon. So I want to talk about what are the benefits, what are the drawbacks, and what separates PRL's rear motor mount from everybody else's. So first, you got to know what happens on a stock Honda Civic whenever you put the car under load. When you are accelerating and then you go to shift, you're going to get a lot of flexing of the engine. And you can do this, honestly, you don't need to drive. If you want to see it, just have somebody press the gas and with the hood popped open, make sure you're neutral, and then yeah, you'll see the engine start flexing on you. So what happens when the engine does this flexing motion? It's going to create this thing known as wheel hop. So what happens with wheel hop is that when the engine flexes, the wheels tend to hop up a little bit, and that could be enough to break traction. So you could create a lot of wheel spin doing that, and we don't want that. We want as much traction on the road, as much traction on the pavement as possible. So rear motor mount is going to help eliminate a lot of that wheel hop. It really all depends on how stiff of a rear motor mount you get. And then so that brings me to my next point. What are the drawbacks of a rear motor mount? Well, I'll show you the stock one. Here is a stock rear motor mount. As you can see, it's tiny. It has these gaps all in the bushing to help reduce vibrations. So when you get an upgraded rear motor mount, it doesn't matter what brand you go with, you're gonna immediately introduce a lot of vibrations to the car. So this was a big problem in the 10th gen community. A lot of guys complain that some of the aftermarket rear motor mounts created a lot of vibrations inside the cabin. And I can definitely attest to this because I had a 10th gen FK8 or Civic Type R, and when I put a half-sport motor mount on it, the vibrations in the cabin were ridiculous. So yeah, it was awful. So it doesn't matter what kind of motor mount you go with, you're going to get a lot more vibrations in the cabin. It's just the nature of having a stiffer mount. So what happens when we introduce PRL's rear motor mount? Now this is a little bit different. So a lot of aftermarket rear motor mounts use a polyurethane bushing. Polyurethane is really stiff, and well, it's going to create a lot more vibrations. So what separates PRL's is they use an EPDM rubber for their bushings, which is OEM-like. It's I believe it's the same, if not close to what the OEM motor mounts use. So this is going to help absorb a lot of that vibration and reduce the vibrations that you get in the cabin. So what did I experience using this? Well, I still had vibrations. It's just, like I said, it's going to be the nature of the beast. And where did I experience it at? So the two main points where I experienced vibrations was in the gas, brake, and clutch pedals and the steering wheel. So how long did these last? And I know some of you are like, what do you mean how long did it last? Well, these do break in over time, and you won't notice the vibrations as much. Now this could be in your head, or it could actually be breaking in. So after this broke in, man, I don't even know, like maybe after 1,000 miles, I didn't even notice the vibrations anymore. I did a lot of driving, going back to school and work all the time. So yeah, after maybe 500 to 1,000 miles, I didn't really notice the vibrations in the pedal anymore. Now where I did still notice it is on a cold start. Like as soon as I start the car up in the morning and the engine is warming up, I immediately felt it in the steering wheel, and it's just little vibrations. But once your car is finished warming up, you really won't feel the vibrations anymore. It's not there. It's not going to be there while you're daily driving and going on the highway or back roads. You're not going to feel it. And what is the difference between the vibrations that I felt with this motor mount versus like the half-sport motor mount that I had on my FK8? Well, I didn't feel it throughout the whole car. With the FK8 mount, I felt it in the seat. Like I could feel like my body vibrating. I could see the seat next to me just like vibrating. So yeah, I didn't notice any more vibrations after it broke in. besides the steering wheel on a cold start. Now, what were the benefits that this gave me? So it was pretty cool. The difference was pretty noticeable. Whenever I went on some spirited driving, taking some corners, I noticed that the wheels stayed planted while taking a corner a lot, or if it's under load, I noticed that I'm not feeling a lot of that flexing or wheel hop. So it was pretty dramatic, to be honest. Like, this in combination with the strut bar made a world of a difference for handling, especially out of corners. Like, the wheels just wanted to stick. I wasn't having any issues with traction. It was just crazy. I couldn't believe the difference that a strut bar and a rear motor mount really made. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it, guys. That's my review. I personally love it. It's not obnoxious. It's not terrible to drive with every day. It still gives me the performance. So the way that I explain this is this rear motor mount really bridges the gap between OEM stock feel and performance. Like, it just brings those two together. It gives you all the performance of a rear motor mount with a stockish still feel, with a little bit of vibrations introduced into it, but nothing terrible. The Durmeter on this mount is a 60A, so that'll give you kind of an idea of what to expect. And yeah, I mean, I couldn't be any more happy with it. I hope once the pre-orders drop, you guys go ahead and order yours, and I hope it makes you happy with whether you do some daily driving or track driving. I think you'll really enjoy it. So that's it. Thanks for watching again, guys. Thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks for using my links. If you have any more questions, please leave it down in the description box below. And yeah.